Welcome, dear friends, this is your good friend Frank, bringing you another thought-provoking episode of the Clockwork Eye, your faithful companion in the search for wisdom and self-discovery amidst the labyrinthine complexities of the human experience. The one channel which helps illuminate your mind, one insight at a time. Today, we uncover the timeless wisdom of Aesop's fables, focusing our lens on the tale of the fox and the grapes. This simple yet profound story has echoed through the ages, offering insights into the intricacies of the human psyche and the ways in which we navigate the challenges and disappointments of life. So join me as we explore this ancient tale and uncover its enduring relevance to our modern lives. But before we explore the meaning woven into this ancient tale, let us first acquaint ourselves with the legendary figure behind it, Aesop, the master storyteller of ancient Greece. Aesop, believed to have lived in the 6th century BCE, was a slave and later a freedman known for his witty and insightful fables. While little is known about his life with absolute certainty, ancient sources paint a picture of a clever and cunning individual who used his tales to convey profound truths about human nature and the world around us. According to the ancient historian Herodotus, Aesop was born in Thrace, a region in the Balkans, and spent much of his life as a slave in the Greek city-state of Samos. Despite his lowly status, Aesop's wisdom and wit were widely recognized, and he eventually gained his freedom and became an advisor to kings and city-states. Aesop's fables, numbering in the hundreds, were originally passed down orally and later collected and written down by various authors. These timeless stories, often featuring anthropomorphized animals and concluding with a moral lesson, have endured for over 2 millennia, influencing countless generations and inspiring adaptations in literature, art, and popular culture. While the details of Aesop's life remain shrouded in mystery and legend, his legacy as a master storyteller and keen observer of human nature endures to this day. Through his simple yet profound tales, Aesop invites us to look beyond the surface of things and to confront the deeper truths of our own lives and the world we inhabit. And so, with this context in mind, let us now turn our attention to one of Aesop's most famous and enduring fables, The Fox and the Grapes, and explore the ample wealth of meaning woven into this ancient tale. For those unfamiliar with the story, The Fox and the Grapes tells of a hungry fox who comes upon a tantalizing bunch of grapes hanging high on a vine. Despite his best efforts to reach the fruit, leaping and straining with all his might, the fox finds the grapes forever remain just beyond his grasp. Frustrated and defeated, he finally gives up, declaring the grapes to be sour and not worth his trouble, as he walks away with his nose in the air. At first glance, this simple fable may seem like little more than a cautionary tale about the dangers of sour grapes and the folly of self-deception. But as we peel back the layers of meaning, we find a rich and nuanced commentary on the human condition, one that speaks to the very heart of our hopes, dreams, and the ways in which we cope with failure and disappointment. On a psychological level, the fox's behavior can be seen as a classic example of cognitive dissonance, the mental discomfort that arises when our beliefs, attitudes, or behaviors are in conflict with one another. As the renowned psychologist Leon Festinger outlined in his seminal work, A Theory of Cognitive Dissonance, we humans have a deep-seated need for consistency and coherence in our thoughts and actions. When faced with information or experiences that challenge our existing beliefs or self-image, we often go to great lengths to reduce this dissonance, even if it means engaging in self-deception or rationalization. In the case of the fox, his inability to reach the grapes poses a threat to his self-image as a clever and capable creature. Rather than accept the painful reality of his own limitations, he chooses to reshape his perception of the situation, convincing himself that the grapes were never truly desirable in the first place. By declaring them sour, he seeks to restore a sense of cognitive harmony, preserving his ego and sense of self-worth in the face of failure. This tendency to rationalize and justify our failures and shortcomings is a deeply human trait, one that we all engage in to some degree. As the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche observed in his work, Beyond Good and Evil, the most common lie is that which one lies to himself, lying to others is relatively an exception. We tell ourselves stories to make sense of our experiences, to maintain a coherent narrative of who we are and what we value, even when reality fails to align with our desires and expectations. But while this kind of self-deception may provide temporary relief from the sting of failure, it can also hold us back from genuine growth and self-awareness. By refusing to confront the truth of our own limitations and the external obstacles we face, we risk becoming trapped in a cycle of denial and avoidance, forever chasing after the illusion of sour grapes rather than pursuing the true nourishment of self-improvement and resilience. This is where the wisdom of the fox and the grapes truly shines. Beyond its cautionary message about the dangers of self-deception, the fable also invites us to cultivate a deeper awareness of our own motivations and the stories we tell ourselves in the face of adversity. It encourages us to ask ourselves, are we genuinely pursuing the things that matter most to us, or are we simply settling for the sour grapes of self-justification and rationalization? In the words of the Stoic philosopher Epictetus, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When faced with challenges and setbacks, we have a choice in how we respond. We can either succumb to the temptation of cognitive dissonance, convincing ourselves that the things we once desired were never truly worth having, or we can choose to face reality with honesty and courage, learning from our failures and using them as stepping stones to growth and self-improvement. This principle applies not only to our personal lives but to our collective struggles as well. Throughout history, we have seen countless examples of individuals and groups who, when faced with seemingly insurmountable obstacles and injustices, have chosen the path of self-deception and rationalization rather than the hard work of change and progress. From the denial of biological and physical realities to the persistence of systemic dogma and repression, the sour grapes mentality has often served as a barrier to meaningful action and transformation. But just as the fable of the fox and the grapes invites us to confront the truth of our own limitations, it also calls us to recognize the power we have to shape our own destinies and the world around us. By cultivating a mindset of growth, resilience, and adaptability, we can learn to see challenges not as obstacles to be avoided or rationalized away, but as opportunities for learning, development, and positive change. As the celebrated psychologist Carol Dweck writes in her book, Mindset, The New Psychology of Success, in a growth mindset, people believe that their most basic abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work, brains and talent are just the starting point. This view creates a love of learning and a resilience that is essential for great accomplishment. So, my dear Clockwork Eye viewers, I invite you to reflect on your own experiences with the sour grapes mentality. How have you encountered cognitive dissonance in your own life, and what strategies have you used to overcome it? How can we, as individuals and as a society, learn to face the truth of our limitations and challenges with honesty, courage, and a commitment to growth and transformation? Share your thoughts and stories in the comments below, and let us learn from one another as we navigate the complexities of human experience. And as always, if you have found value in this video, leave a like, and consider subscribing to the Clockwork Eye for more thought-provoking explorations of the wisdom and insights that lie hidden within the stories we tell ourselves and each other. In the end, the tale of the fox and the grapes reminds us that the path to a fulfilling and meaningful life is not always easy or straightforward. It requires us to confront hard truths, to face our failures and limitations with honesty and grace, and to keep striving for the things that truly matter, even when they feel just beyond our reach. As the poet Rainer Maria Rilke so eloquently put it, the only journey is the one within. By embracing the wisdom of Aesop's fable and learning to see beyond the illusion of sour grapes, we open ourselves up to a life of authentic growth, resilience, and self-discovery. Thank you for joining me on this journey, my fellow travelers. Until next time, keep questioning, keep growing, and keep reaching for the true nourishment of a life well lived. This is your friend Frank at the Clockwork Eye, signing off. Cheerio.